Hey everybody, it's Mike Kennedy, Vermont Bar Council, and welcome to Five for Friday from the Garage Bar Studios. Trying something new this week, not sure how long it's gonna last. Maybe a week, maybe longer. But here's the deal. So if you've taken or seen my Friday columns, it's called Five for Friday, where I do an introduction, write about whatever I feel like writing about, and then do the five quiz questions related to legal ethics. There have been 202 of them. Today is number 203. And what I usually do is I try to tie the introduction to either the week's number, the date, or something that's going on in the world that right around that Friday or that weekend. It's been fantastic as an experience for me. The introduction in particular, I've found it to be sort of cathartic, like an outlet, the writing for me. More importantly, what I love about it is the thoughts that I've shared, whether it's a personal experience I went through, a story I tell, whatever it happens to be. I love when you all respond and contact me and say, boy, I had something really similar, or I can't believe that you wrote that. That exact same thing happened to me. Well, and I love that, the connections we've been able to forge through the blog. The quiz part, I don't love so much. There's only so many ways you can ask about the rules of professional conduct because the rules don't really change that often. And there's not that many of them that come up in everybody's daily practices. So this week, I recorded I did the live stream last night of the pub quiz as part of the social wellness themed day during Employer Wellbeing Week. And that was 5 rounds, 10 questions each, 7 questions in each round relate to legal ethics. So there's 35 questions. And that's a lot to come up with. So I was looking back through the 5 for Fridays to try to steal questions from that, paste them into the quiz I did last night. And I realized over the last 2 or 3 months, I have been pretty lazy. I have just been asking the same things over and over and over again, almost like 7 different questions that I've recycled through 85% of the time. And that's sort of jived with how I've been feeling about the Friday post in general. It's like, is this it? I'm not sure I want to do this anymore. And I really wasn't going to post today, but then I decided to do this video. And here's one of the reasons I decided why. Again, I try to tie the introduction to the week's number. This week's number would be 203. There's been a lot of things in my life that I do that I like doing that eventually I do for a while and just say, I'm done. I'm not doing that anymore. It's no longer fun. It's no longer worth it. I'm just tired of it. And one of those things is I used to collect ticket stubs. Started in the early 90s, I think, when I first got to law school. And I went to a game at the old Memorial Stadium in Baltimore with my buddy Tom Lewis. Saw Roger Clemens pitch the second half of the doubleheader. And I saved the ticket stub. And thereafter, I started saving ticket stubs of every event I went to, whether a sporting event, concert, a movie, a play, a show, and I have a huge collection of them downstairs in my basement, almost over 20 years worth. And it's great. I love looking back through them. Some of them have great artwork, but they're more just a memory, sort of a walk down memory lane, if you will, of a different time in your life where the movie or the show or the game you went to triggers other good memories, which I really enjoy looking through every now and then. My ticket stubs. But then I stopped, and that was in 2013. And I remember that because it was at a Steeler game that I stopped. I'm a huge Pittsburgh Steeler fan, and my brother set it up to finally get me to a game in Pittsburgh where I'd never been to see the Steelers, never seen them play at all anywhere. But we were at our dad's in North Carolina, flew home via Pittsburgh, saw them play the Ravens at Hinesville. It was a great experience. I didn't keep the ticket stub because I didn't have a ticket stub. We had electronic tickets. And so we just, you know, scanned them and went in. And I remember thinking at the time, do I want to get a ticket? Decided against it. No, this is the wave of the future. Might as well get with it. And ever since then, I've not used tickets. I use, you know, like we all do, electronic tickets. Maybe sometimes I'll have to print one out, you know, like a big 8x11 piece of paper where you give them the barcode. That's not a ticket. I don't count those as ticket stubs. So now I've gone 7 years without a ticket stub. And the reason that made me think of the number 203 is I stopped in 2013 doing one thing that I really liked. So you take that one out of 2013 and it gets you to 203. You know what I mean? And it made me realize that there's something going on in your life that's worth doing, that you've been doing for years. You wouldn't have been doing it for years if it wasn't worth doing. Don't stop, because there will come a time when you look back and go, why did I stop? I regret that I stopped. I wish I had kept that up, because it won't be the same if you start up again. You know, for instance, I could stop the quiz, then start up again in 2 months, 6 months, a year, and it won't be the same. There will be like that 7-year gap that I have right now between from when I stopped collecting ticket stubs, stopped even using real tickets, to now. If I start again, maybe it'll be great going forward, a new project, but it won't be the same. So whatever it is you got going on right now, don't quit. You know, keep it up. Sometimes things aren't easy to do, but they're things that as we get older, we'll be glad that we kept on doing. So that's my message today related to the week's number. I might change this up anyway and keep doing sort of a format like this, maybe every now and then. I've got the empty bar stool right there to sort of throw out the offer. Who wants to join me? 5 for Friday video, or maybe we talk a bit of legal ethics and then we get to the quiz, sort of do it together. Or maybe we just talk legal ethics and I start filming some of those where I have a guest. Sort of start to expand, maybe that'll reinvigorate me. If you come here to do it, once we're allowed to do things again, or wear a mask, you get to actually sit on a nice bar stool. Those are not usually in the Garage Bar, but if you came to the Garage Bar Studios to film one of these with me, I will get out the nice stools for you. They're usually inside. The Garage Bar stools look like this. They don't have the back. They're not nearly as comfortable. So if I have to go on the road, which is fine, I'm bringing one of these, not bringing one of those. So anyway, 2013, I stopped doing the one thing that I really liked with tickets, and that's collecting the ticket stubs. I wish I hadn't stopped. Take the 1 out of 2013, you get down to 203, which is the week's number. So that reminds me, there's something good going on in your life right now. Don't stop what it is, because you'll regret it. Okay, so now I will get to this week's quiz. Some of you participated last night in the live stream. You're going to have an advantage today because I did not have enough energy to find 5 new questions. I'm using questions that I used last night. So here we go. There are the rules: open book, open search engine, text a friend. Maybe I should get my face back in. Maybe I shouldn't get my face back in. Maybe some of you liked not having my face there. Question 5, we try to keep it honest. The rules of the Vermont rules apply. Team entries welcome. Email your answers to me. I'll post them on Monday along with the honor roll. Please don't comment. I am going to post this on the blog anyway. Please don't put your answers there. Consider sharing with a friend or colleague if you will, and consider sharing on social media if you will with the tag 5 for Friday. Whew, that was a lot. Here we go. Math question. Math, Mike. I didn't go to law school for math. I went to law school because I don't know math. X equals the number of annual pro bono hours suggested by the rules. Y equals the number of years the rules require lawyers to maintain trust account records following the termination of the representation. What is X times Y? A, 420, B, 360, C, 350, or D, 300? Give you a couple seconds and then move on. Maybe that's why people prefer to read. Or maybe, I don't even know if they do prefer to read because I haven't done it by video yet. Okay, you can always rewind. Question 2, what's the subject of the rule described here? must be in a writing signed by the client, must be reasonable, prohibited in criminal cases, prohibited for securing a divorce. Write them down, michael.kennedy@vermont.gov. Don't even have to submit them. If you submit something, you get a chance to make the honor roll. Otherwise, no big deal. Learning on your own is always a good thing. Here's my response to an ethics inquiry. My response refers to one of the 7 C's of legal ethics. Which one? This is me talking. Your duty is to remonstrate with the client, take reasonable remedial measures, including, if necessary, disclosure to the tribunal. Which C is that? Ooh, it's getting chilly. It was sleeting when I woke up this morning. Can you believe that? Probably snowing elsewhere. In fact, I know it was snowing elsewhere. So I guess I consider myself fortunate only to have dealt with sleet. Question 4. When used properly, that's the key here, properly. The phrases lateral transfers and ACH transfers are used when discussing the rules on what? Is it A, conflicts of interest, B, trust accounting, C, it's respectively conflicts of interest and trust accounting, or D, Mike, no normal people use phrases like lateral transfers and ACH transfers. That's probably true, but it is not the correct answer. So I just increased your odds from 25% to 33%. So that means you owe me an 8% tip. Question 5, the fun question. And it relates to Rule 1.2a. On May 8th, 1978, David Berkowitz, against the advice of counsel, pled guilty to a series of charges relating to 8 separate shootings that left 6 dead and 7 wounded. In 1999, Spike Lee made a movie that focused on an Italian-American neighborhood in the Bronx. The movie was set in 1977 and set against the backdrop of Berkowitz's crime spree, a sweltering heat wave, and the Yankees championship season. Boo! What was the name that the press used to refer to Berkowitz? Bonus, what was the name of Spike Lee's movie? 1.2a is the rule that says the lawyer controls the means. The client, however, owns the objectives. The rule specifically says that it is up to the client whether to enter a guilty plea. That rule, if anybody followed my March Madness style bracket where I had the 64 phrases, rules, thoughts related to legal ethics, Rule 1.2a made it all the way to the finals. So obviously that's a rule that lawyers are interested in. Anyway, that's this week's quiz. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. If you want to sit in the chair and join me for one of these videos, let me know. More than welcome, more than willing to have some guests. Otherwise, have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you soon.